Now you can use data visualization to help tell your reader a story. You will learn how to create charts, modify and format charts, and add and format advanced chart elements. A chart is a graphical representation of data and how the data relates to each other in a data set in Excel. There are many different chart types that you can choose from in Excel. Making the right chart selection for your data will help you to communicate your data clearly and accurately. Let's take a look at an example. Here you have data that represents sales figures in various divisions of an organization. For this example, you can use a pie chart to graphically represent the sales figures in the spreadsheet. The pie chart shows that Division A generates the most sales, while Division D generates the least. To create a chart, the first step is to select your data across the set of cells in your worksheet. Remember to include the row or column header. Now, click the Insert tab. Here you will see that the chart section has a wide selection of charts that Thomas can use to visualize his data. Then, click on any one of the chart options in the Charts group to select your chart to use. In this case, you can click on the Recommended Charts tab. The Insert Chart dialog box opens and you can scroll through the list of charts that Excel recommends for your data. Click on any chart to see how your data may look. The choice at the top of the list is the one that Excel considers to be the most suitable. You can also access recommended charts from the Insert Chart dialog box by clicking on the Option button in the Charts group. If you still don't see a chart that you like, you can click All Charts to see all available chart types. When you find the chart you like, double-click on it. To move your chart, click to select the chart and drag it to the location that you want. If you are happy with the location of the chart, release your mouse button. Now, if you want to resize the overall size of your chart, click to select it, then click the Format tab. In the Size group, you can enter the exact height and width of the chart to resize it. To resize the chart manually, click the chart and then drag the sizing handles to the size that you want. Alternatively, you can resize your chart using the Format Chart Area task pane. Now, click and drag the resize handles of the data outlines. This lets you choose which data you would like to include in the chart. If you want to include an additional line of information, click and drag the resize handle downwards. Division F is immediately included in your chart. Now that you've created a chart, you can modify and format it. When you want to modify a chart, you can add or remove certain chart elements or change your chart type. The number of chart elements in your chart depends on the chart type that you have chosen. In this example, there are 6 elements displayed on your chart. At the top of the chart, you find the chart's title. Next, you have the chart's grid lines. These are the grey lines running behind the columns. Then the data series representing all the data in the graph. On the right-hand side, you have the legend. This element explains the colours used in the chart. At the bottom of the chart is the data table. This element is optional and not automatically included in every chart type. The final element in this chart are the axis titles. Axis titles are typically available for all axes that can be displayed in a chart. Remember, elements will differ depending on the type of chart you have selected. You can now change the design of your chart. In the Chart Layouts group, you can add or remove chart elements and change your chart's layout. You can also change colours and apply various chart styles. In the Data group, you can change the chart's dataset range and switch row and column data. If you want to change the chart type, select Change Chart Type in the Type group. And finally, if you want to move charts between worksheets in the current workbook, select Move Chart in the Location group. Now you can change the look of your chart by formatting it. Click on your chart to select it and then click on the Format Contextual tab. In the Format Contextual tab, you find the current selection control options. This allows you to select individual chart elements. Here you can access Format Selection. You can see that the dialog box opens on the right-hand side. When using complex charts, this is a good way to select items in a chart. Now select the Shape Styles option. Here you can change the shapes using the commands in the Shape Styles group. You can also modify the colour, outline and effects of the chart. If you want to change and format your chart's text, go to the Word Art Styles group and select an option. You can also change the order and orientation of the chart elements in the Arrange group. Finally, you can use the Size group to view and change the overall size of the chart that you have selected. To add a chart element, click the Add Chart Element command on the Design tab. Select the element you want from the drop-down menu. You can choose from chart titles, data labels, legends and many more. If you want to access the chart elements quickly, click on the Chart Elements button in the top right-hand corner of your chart. You'll see the Chart Elements submenu. Select any one of the elements to modify your chart. Let's take a look at trend lines. A trend line is a straight or curved line element that can be added to your chart. It is typically used to show a trend over time. A trend line helps the reader to understand and interpret the flow of data in the data. It answers questions like, are our sales going up or down? Or several different types of trend lines to choose from. Let's look at a couple of examples. Here is an example of an exponential trend line. This type of trend line is curved to show data rising or falling at constant rates. And this is an example of a linear trend line. This trend line is used to show simple linear data sets. Let's add a trend line chart in your worksheet. Select your chart, then click on the Chart Element option. Now select the Trend Line option and then select the type of trend line from the options provided. Alternatively, you can use the Chart Elements icon in the top right-hand corner of your chart to add a trend line from the options provided. Once you've added a trend line to your chart, you can easily modify it. Click on your chart to select it. Next, click on the trend line to select it. The Format Trend Line task pane appears. Here you can use the various options to add to and modify your trend line. You can also use the contextual format ribbon to adjust the color of your trend line.